All right, so we made a mistake, and let me see if CGPT can come help us fix it out. So we were preparing this data set in order to be able to demonstrate to you guys what we can do with chartering data, and so that involves us creating a lot of that data ourselves to make sure it's anonymized and that it's safe for us to share and do demos on. So when we did that, we made the same mistake that I think some of our customers had when they passed us the data that we were initially looking at, is that it doesn't contain port locales. Now, if you know anything about computers, you'll know that they need some way to grab onto information. So these are all the ports that are part of our data set, and we have their names. We have just their general names, but we don't actually have any more information. We don't have the UN locales for that data. Now, usually this is us going in and finding that information either from our database or using embeddings to look through things or online. But I want to see what we can do with just CGPT. So I'm just going to ask CGPT, um, can you find me the low codes for these ports? Uh, if you have to, or use aliases in port search. Let's see how far we get. And this is quite a few ports, right? And at the end, we're going to see if we can get a table out of it. And you'll see there's a bunch of typos in the port names as well. And this would have been like a half an hour to 45 minutes of work just for me. And if he can save me that, then it's also had a meaningful impact on my life. So you'll see CGPT goes to work almost immediately, and it's just starting to look for ports directly with that name. And that doesn't always work because those searches need to be exact or need to be a substring. It's something that we're working on improving by using semantic search with modern AI to try and solve on our side. But let's see what CGPT can do just with the tools that are present today. So if I look in here, maybe some of the results have already come in. Most of these are just not returning a result, but it's still going to look through just to be sure. And what we'd like it to do, which is what I would do as a human, is look for aliases and look online and use Google and just different parts to sort of slowly start pulling that data together. Now, ordinarily, I would ask CGPT just get a cup of coffee because there's quite a few ports in there. But in this case, let's go on this journey together, see what happens. Now, while it's doing that, actually, I think it's started to find some information. Okay, so only one of them's actually worked. So now it's actually going to start using a web search to try and find information. I think those are going to be a little bit more successful, but I suspect that there might still be a few that we might either need to go in at the end or that we're going to have to work with CGPT to discover. And I think that's what's so amazing about modern AI is that you can also direct them. They're a lot more inspectable. The AI of the last 10 years, if you've been used to them, have entirely been black boxes that were completely uninspectable, and they were hard systems to work with. When they worked, they were amazing. But when they didn't, there was no way for you to redirect them towards something or understand why they made a decision. For example, if CGPT today makes a decision or pulls information for you, and no matter how complex, you can go, well, why did you do that? And what's the reasoning? And it's going to be able to give you an answer back. And so that is really, really powerful, we think. So it's found quite a few. And it's also done things that I wouldn't know per se myself to do. Is that, it hasn't actually found the low code for this particular port, but it's saying, it's likely the same. And it's actually right there because low codes don't get assigned to sub ports or different anchorages at the same port. So it's actually right there. And it's now doing more web searches. We can see the results that came back here. We've actually got more information in here that it's using to then join the information that it's pulling in. And we can also very easily see what sources it's using. And it's using quite a few different web sources to get that information in. So this is where, having one assistant with all of these different tools can sometimes be better than knowing where to go or having all of these other skills. And the big worry for me, especially when it comes to using tools like these personally, is that I forget how to do things, right? We've forgotten how to find information sometimes in libraries because Google is just that good. But those are luxury problems to have, I think. I'm definitely not complaining that it's saved me 30 to 40 minutes of doing this work manually, which is time I can use to record this demo and share it with you. And it's firing a lot of these searches off in parallel. And so that means that things can be significantly faster. This, I think, is another advancement we're going to see in modern AI tools. But so far, CGPT is the only one that I've seen that can do that. Even ChatGPT goes sequentially, and so something like this, and you're welcome to try this with ChatGPT. Would If it works, it probably would take about the same time that it would take for me to do those searches. Okay, so we found really quite a few now. When I started this demo, I honestly didn't know how well it was going to do. Me, for one, personally, I'm just really glad that this is not stuff that I have to do now. Okay, I think we've got almost all of them now. And so this could have been a crew list, this could have been a cargo list, this could have been research that you needed to automate and pull information together, or maybe I was looking for these in order to be able to use them in a subsequent step somewhere. Um, that is amazing. Okay, I think we found. Okay, I can just check. Did we miss anything here? And if we did, what I'd probably do is just find. Okay, I guess where I just have to listen to the AI sometimes.
All the low codes for the ports you requested have been provided based on the search results.
Thank you very much.